Dogs might be a man's best friend, but if you thought cats were dull, seriously, think again. Earlier, Dr. Scott jumped on his bike for a cycle with Travis Nelson and his cat, Sigrid.
They're back from the park and they're just about to arrive in the
they're here.
studio. Here they are, guys.
Oh. Hello.
I'm going to come like this every time.
I love it.
Good to see you both.
Welcome, Travis.
Hiya, Travis. Hi, Sigrid.
Oh.
Hiya, Scott.
Hey, hey.
It's got his little basket.
I'm going to deliver the cat by basket.
Oh, hi, Sigrid.
Sigrid.
Well,
There she is.
Sigrid can't actually
Isn't
do
she
what we're
beautiful?
saying. Oh, she's
Travis,
gorgeous.
welcome. Sit down. Great to have
Travis.
you with us.
I mean, this is bonkers, this is. She absolutely loves it, doesn't she?
She does, she really does.
So you just pop her in the bike and you don't get no complaints whatsoever?
Nope, she's always happy to be out on the road.
And does
Travis, yeah, how did this start? Because, like, you know, as a fellow cat owner, if you sort of get them used to something when they're kittens, then they're kind of like, oh, OK, like, for example, but normally that's like stroking their belly or something, but actually getting them and, you know, stick them in the basket and having a little cycle around that's a huge leap. So where did this start?
Well, right when she was a kitten, I was taking her out for walks on the leash.
Yeah.
And I would take her down to the corner store. I would take her to the park for picnics. We took her on the train to the beach, you know. And for 3 years, I was taking her on walks once or twice a week, you know. And then finally, when I popped her on the bike, it was just another thing we were doing. She never even thought twice. And
what's the attention like when you go out and about? What is that attention like? Is it a lot?
It is a lot, yeah. We don't go anywhere fast. We get stopped constantly, yeah.
So if you're in a rush, it's probably, you have to set up early.
Put a blanket on top of her or something.
Well, you just experienced it, Scott. How was it for you? Did you get any attention?
I got none, and the cat got loads. I mean, the cat
That's
was
not normally like
no,
that.
unbelievable. I was not being adored this morning. The cat was getting everything, and rightly so. I mean, it's quite a spectacle. But what I loved was that it put such a smile on everyone's face. You know, there was a quizzical glance, and then there was people just really beaming and coming and saying hi. So Travis and Sigrid are very famous, very popular people.
Travis, did you start walking Sigrid because she was deaf, or like what? You know, what was the kind of reason to start walking with her?
No. I mean, I've walked my previous cats. I've never taken them on bikes, but I've always liked to walk them because I keep my cats indoors.
Yeah.
I don't have them indoor, outdoor, but I like them to have that exposure to go outside and kind of see nature a little bit and stuff like that. So that's why I did that.
I had an old neighbour that used to walk a cat, and as long as you get cats used to it from an early age, they absolutely love it, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Walking around.
And the fact that she's deaf, does that kind of, do you think that helps with the fact that she's on the road, lots of noises and stuff like that?
I think that certainly helps, yeah. I think we got kind of a double dose because she's very, very brave and she has that personality, but you put the deafness on top of that and she's just unstoppable.
Is this normal, Dr. Scott? Is this normal for a cat to be like this?
No.
It's not normal, is it?
I mean, I think I would probably premise this by saying, please don't, after watching this, put your cat in a basket and go cycling. This is not what we're recommending at all. But Sigrid has a very close relationship with Travis, and Travis understood that his cat was going to be able to cope with this. We did talk about this earlier and said that actually it was a stepwise process of first getting used to going outside, just getting used to not so much the sounds, but the sights. Yeah. And I should also comment on that in that because she can't hear, the major concern of going into London streets, of course, is the noise. So she's not impacted by that at all. And actually a lot of cats that are pure white with blue eyes do suffer with deafness, up to 80%. And actually it's known that Dalmatians are known to be deaf on the side of a blue eye as well.
Really?
So it's quite a common sort of genetic fault, as it were. But for her, I think as far as her sort of cycling career goes, having a lack of hearing is no bad thing because it means she can take in the sights and the smells, but maybe not all the beeps and the bangs.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it? They're far more adventurous than we always give them credit for, cats. They're far more up for it. You've written a book, Sigrid Rides, The Adventures on Two Wheels.
Yes, we have.
Tell us a little bit about, like, what is it? What is it, like a memoir as to what it's like to have a cat?
It's a memoir, yeah. It's really the story of Sigrid, you know, how I got her and how we ended up doing what we're doing today. And it covers the whole story. It talks about me and, like, you know, why I got her and why I started doing this. It's a little bit about, like, my mental health journey and how this is really making other people happy has made me happy as well.
Scott, can we just talk about sort of cats and trained behaviour? Because you've really helped me out down the years with my cats. I've moved a couple of times with them, and you have always taught me, and it works, that kind of small spaces, then you start to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But you know, my cats are, you know, they're pretty chilled.
We're talking about you, the cat, not you. We're not putting you in spot.
Well, a little
Don't
bit of
put
both.
Dermot in the corner. No one does.
And then, like, you know, over a period of so you put them in a room, and then when they're comfortable, then you expand it out. And But the idea of me taking Socks or Toto down a London street on a lead, they would freak out.
Well, see, but that's the thing, isn't it? Is that you know your cats well enough to know what their limitations would be, and Travis does as well. And he just realises that Sigrid has this adventurous nature, and actually Norwegian forest cats, of which she is, are known for that, that sort of sense of wanting to go out and about. I mean, my cat, Ricketts, who's 17, when he came to us, he was an ex-street cat from Portugal, so he had a bit of a wherewithal about being outdoors. So whenever we used to take the dogs and the baby for a walk in the local park, he would come with us.
Really?
Yeah, but it was hilarious. So he's like so like rough around the edges. He would sit on a bridge and then kind of flip the bird at any dogs that were walking past. He'd like just literally just go yeah, whatever, and then he'd come walk you back. Hilarious. So cats do have this ability to be trained, but I think that their driving force is different. So a dog is a social animal. They like to please, and they look to a leader to give guidance about how to exist. Cats are solitary animals, so their motivation is selfish.
Just leave me alone.
Well, it's like, I'll do what I want to do, and if you train me or you encourage me along the route, sure. But if it's something I don't want to do, don't expect it's going to happen anytime soon.
It's true, obviously, and dogs were domesticated 40,000 years ago, and cats 12,000 years ago.
That's right.
Something. But you do feel like cats are part of your family, and they do want to be where you want to be. So I mean, so they do. I know they're not pack animals per se, but you know, when I go to sleep, I know that one of my cats is going to end up in the bed and have a little cuddle.
Yes, but remember that you are a walking heat mat. And
not the reason, Scott.
Sorry, mate. I'm sorry to burst your
I
bubble.
think everyone
but
would want to cuddle with you, line up with you. You know what I mean?
They're like lining up around the corner on bikes.
Everyone would want to cuddle with you.
Alice, that's a weird rabbit hole we're going down.
It's true.
But they're, with cats, they are creatures of comfort as well, and they're very smart. So you can train a cat 100%. We're not saying that you can't. And I'm sure that, does Sigrid have any tricks she can do besides bike riding?
Not really. She can yell at the door to want to go on a bike ride. And she can sleep and eat, and that's...
So she does communicate with you when she wants to go on a bike ride?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She's just like a dog. She goes to the door and yells. She'll come find me and then run back to the door and yell some more.
And Al, you'll love this from a female perspective with your beautiful locks. You should have seen her hair blowing in the wind. She looked like something out of a film. Like, there she is. And what you can tell by looking at that is you can see her face. She's blinking. She's not completely wide-eyed. She's very calm, and her posture is quite soft. So you can really tell that she is happy and she's contented. And also, I should say that Travis has ensured that her safety is really important. So he's got a little tether to sort of make sure that she's held into the basket. But it is something that, you know, we see a lot of people walking their dogs out and about in the park, and that's fine. But just really think about it first. It's not for everyone, and it's certainly not for every cat.
Doctor, can I ask if... I want to know if cats can love us.
Of course they can.
How would you know?
Well, there's loads of ways that they show you. It's the sort of scent marking is the main one. So, you know, they kind of do that. They mark
so when they come up to your leg,
they've got
lot.
scent hormones on their upper lip, pheromones, and they are marking you. So in a way, it's kind of saying you're mine, but it is a loving gesture. And obviously, they come up to you and they want attention, but it is just always that on their terms thing. With a dog, you say, "Can you come here and come and give me a hug?" And the dog go, "Okay." Whereas like a cat will go, I'm doing something.
If you see a cat come towards you, and the little tail's up and sort of quivering and the shepherd's crook, that's when they're like, oh, my God.
A confident stride. And if they look at you and they give you a little sort of slow blink, that means they're like, if they're staring at you like this, not blinking.
My cat's like you.
Yeah, when I was using Holly's toilet, her cat came in and watched me and then rubbed up next to my leg. I was thinking, this isn't the time. But, it does happen a lot to me, a lot. But honestly, it's so lovely to meet Sigrid. Absolutely beautiful. This is the book. It's at Sigrid Rides, an adventure on two wheels. Thank you for joining us, Travis.
Thanks,
Dr. Scott.
Thank you.
Amazing.